It was pretty fun. Not the entire time, but hanging out on the tarmac was pretty cool with everybody. We were out there a little too long, so I was on and off the bus. As far as the heat, we were starting to sweat a little bit. And going back to the hotel, just chilled out, relaxed, watched BYU and Baylor. Took a little bit of a nap and then loaded back up on the bus and came back here. Got back here around 10:45, 11 o'clock. So it was pretty fun.
You had obviously been to A&M before, correct, with Clemson?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't practice in those climates very often. You don't play in that heat very often. How were you able to impose your will and really just run out the clock there at the end?
Those guys up front really wanted it. That third and fourth quarter, we just put it on their back, and they carried us the whole way. That defense carried us, and we just wanted it more. I think at the end of the day, those conditions are, you can't change those conditions. So we knew that going into it, and once you start playing, you forget about the heat and all of that. And when the sun went down, it started to feel a little bit better out there. But yeah, I mean, during the game, you just kind of keep going.
I don't know if you've had a chance to see a lot of the stuff on social from Clemson, from Dabo congratulating you, KJ Henry congratulating you. I know that's a past life. You're an App State Mountaineer now, but what does it mean to see those guys still supporting you?
Yeah, it's cool. I'm a graduate from there, and that's where I started out of high school, and created great relationships and still hold those today. But it's cool to have them tuned in to App State. It's just a broader audience, attracting more people to App State, tune into our football program. So we keep in touch, and I watch them all the time, and we chat about everything. But it's really good to hear from Coach Sweeney and KJ and a lot of my friends.
Finally, obviously, going into conference play, how do you flush this and get the focus back where it needs to be for Troy?
Yeah, 24-hour rule. We talked about that. Coach Clark talked about it. That's just kind of like our rule. After a big win like that, you just move on. Prep starts today for Troy, or started yesterday, but get in the film room today and start breaking them down. And, Saturday's the past, and so now we're just focused on Troy and Saturday's game.
Chase, I believe the count is 13 receivers that you've worked to in the first two games. It's one thing to talk about and project what potential could look like in the preseason and during camp, but now that you've got 2 games under your belt, how do you grade the group, and do you like what you've seen? Do you like what you'll continue to see out of one of the bigger opportunities for growth coming into the year?
Yeah, they're doing a great job finding ways to get open, talking to me on the sideline, post-game. What can we do better? I got a call from Deshaun Davis last night. Hey, Brice, what can we do better? They want to be great, and they know that all eyes are on them. And I just told them, just keep being you. It's the second game of the season. We got high expectations here, and that just goes to show the pride and the hard work that we put in this offseason that they want to show forth during games. And so whoever's open is going to get the ball, or I'm going to try to give them the ball best I can. Tight ends, running backs, receivers, this offense allows us to spread it around, and they know that multiple people are going to touch the ball at any given time. So it's not on one person, and it's my job to give them the ball. So at the end of the day, they're going to do what they can to get open, and I'm going to do my best to give them a good ball and let them run and score.
People assume leadership from quarterbacks, and that needs to certainly be a thing. But for you to take a team that's been in those 2 environments, ready for conference play, how much do you enjoy the chess game that is to make sure that your pieces are aligned the right way?
Yeah, I love a challenge. I think that's why a lot of people play this game. It's a challenge every week, no matter who is on the other side. They're going to bring something different to the table than what they showed the last week. So it's fun to get that opportunity. It's just, you never know in college football. I mean, you just never know, so you always have to be ready.
Kenneth Brice with Watauga Online. You were gracious enough yesterday to do a Facebook Live with me just for a few seconds, and I'm sure you don't remember because you guys were so tired. But I'll ask you what I asked you yesterday. Just talk about this last week and a half, and what a whirlwind that's been. Obviously, national TV has followed App State for both games now. What's that been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a busy 2 weeks. I didn't really expect that when the schedule came out and it started getting closer and closer. But now that, those 2 games have passed, like we said before, focus on conference play. But, during those 2 weeks, it was just like every day, just preparation, be prepared. And so that's what it mainly was for me, the coaches, and a lot of the players. We didn't really feel pressure. We were excited for it. But now that it's passed, we're in Sun Belt play, and we're just happy to have another opportunity.
Coach had mentioned a little while ago that he had, I think, over 400 text messages or something like that. I'm sure your phone has blown up too. Has anybody reached out to you that you were kind of surprised to hear from or didn't expect to hear from?
Not at the top of my head. I'm still going through some messages and getting back to a lot of people, a lot of family and friends. But a lot of guys from high school, actually. You kind of lose contact during college, and it's good to have that check-in every once in a while, that they're watching the game, and, you kind of get, a little chat here and there about, catch up on their life and what they're doing. But it's good to hear from people like that, and, former coaches and former teammates. But yeah, I love getting those post-game messages from a lot of people I don't normally get to talk to.
Chris Peterson, WXI TV in Winston-Salem. Chase, you have a lot of big game experience from your time at Clemson. So leading up to A&M, were you able to share anything with the other guys, what to expect going down there, what the atmosphere was going to be like, and being in that kind of atmosphere?
Kinda. With it being last time I was there a night game, it was a bit different. And this being, it was a 2:30 game, so not much change except, the sun being out for the most part. But at the end of the day, I just told them it's another stadium. 12th man, it's going to be loud. We knew that going into it. But once we got that first play out the way, it was like, all right, it's football. So I didn't really say much to the guys. Just enjoy the moment, enjoy being here, have fun. Don't forget to have fun, because football is a small part of our life, and it's important to, enjoy that game. Don't make it too much.
You went from scoring 61 last week to 14 this week. I know that you guys were moving the ball well, but did it get frustrating at times not being able to break through the way you were the week before?
We had a couple opportunities that just didn't go our way, but we knew at some point something was going to break during the game, and we just kept pushing. I really wasn't stressed during the game. Our defense did a great job of keeping them off the field, and we did a great job of maintaining possession. The possession was crucial for us, and converting on 3rd and 4th down, and then Clayton pinning them deep. So we knew it was going to be a back-and-forth game, a lot of punches thrown, and, ultimately, we got close enough. Wish we could have scored a touchdown late, but Michael Hughes putting us up 3 was big.
Take us back to that final kneel down. Was anything said in the huddle before that final kneel down, and then when it happened, just what is that feeling like?
I just didn't want our O-line to talk any to the defense. Just whatever. Just let me take a knee. Let's get out of here. Don't want any mess ups. But not much was talked. It was just we did it type thing. It was just a lot of excitement, a lot of emotions afterwards.
And lastly, I'm sure that you've seen on social media just the atmosphere that was here in Boone, the students rushing King Street, jumping into the duck pond. What does that do for you as a player when you're seeing your fans and the students just go absolutely nuts over a win like that?
Yeah, it was fun, kind of crazy seeing that on Twitter and Instagram post game while we were stranded on the tarmac. Man, I wanted to be there, celebrating, just enjoying the moment with the students. It's great to see that passion and love for our school, and for us to bring that back here to Boone is pretty cool. It was special to see all those students excited, rushing King Street with pure joy and happiness. So it was awesome.
Chase, I got a couple quick ones. You mentioned that last kneel down. It looked like App State was right on that cusp of, is there enough time to kneel it out, or is there not? And just what was that like for you to kind of have to navigate trying to waste a couple seconds and just all of that to make sure the time did run out those last couple plays?
We have practiced a lot of situational football in these past 2 games, the most that I've been a part of in my career. These past 2 games have just been, obviously a delayed kneel, needed a lot of seconds to fall off the clock instead of giving it back to them. So we practice that every day, pretty much every Friday, and so it helped out a ton. It was a bit nerve-wracking because everybody's got ideas on what they want to do, but Coach Barbe stuck to the plan, and I trusted him. We talked on the sideline, hey, you need to do this, waste as much as you can, buy as much time, but save yourself. Don't take a cheap shot. Hold on to the ball. But yeah, those 3 kneels were a bit nerve-wracking in the moment.
You may have experienced it earlier in your college career, but I assume pre-college Chase Brice got up on Saturday mornings, watched college game day, stuff like that, and you talked about balancing that. It needs to be fun, and we're also focused. What does that mean? I mean, I assume, did you watch college game day when you were a kid, and what's it mean to have it part of this program?
Yeah, college game day is when I was, 8, 9, 10, 11. Depending on when I played that Saturday in my youth league, I was locked in. I was ready for the big game. I was a Georgia fan growing up, so whenever they got a game day experience, it was awesome. But to have them come here is pretty special for Kid Brewer, for Boone. We're excited for it, and we're, going to enjoy that as much as we can, and still also focus on Troy, because that's what matters. College game day is a lot for the fans, and for the town, and I know they'll do it right here. But once we step across those lines, it's game time.
Last one for me. After the game, you were able to, exchange some high fives with guys. I mean, Jacob Huseman you played with, but Zach Thomas and Jordan Fair, guys that you weren't on this team with. Why do you think there's such a connection with guys that maybe you weren't even teammates with, but you all have been part of the shared experience at App State?
Yeah, I got to watch them a lot when I watched App. Didn't know them at the time, but being here last year, coming into the program, developed those relationships because they were kind of still around. They were still a part of just App, and so they're family. And being close with Thomas and Malik and a lot of those guys, I got to know them well. Got to hang out with them a few times, go eat dinner, went to Noah Hannon's wedding, and they were there, and got to just enjoy that time with them. So it's cool to see guys like that show up to College Station in that environment and enjoy a win. Got to see them in the locker room, and it was just a special moment. Got a picture with them because they've won some big games in their career here. So it was like we all won.
Real quick, following up on game day, how did you find out that game day had decided to come to Boone, and what was the reaction like from the team when everybody found out?
Yeah, we found out as a team. We were all sitting on the bus, and Coach Clark was like, all right, everybody off the bus, meet, circle up. And that's when he told us. And then when he told us that, I got a message from Jake Herbstreit, one of my former teammates at Clemson, and he's a part of College Game Day, and he works with Pat McAfee. So he kind of gave me a heads up, like, hey, like we're coming to Boone. And he was stoked. Like, he was more excited than I was in the moment. I was like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? Like, so much it's like midnight. I don't even know what's going on. So that's how we found out.
Chase, last one from me. You've had two very different tempos to control in your first two games. Can you walk us through what it's like to have your hands on the levers and go fast if you need to, like you did in the opener, but also slow it way down like you were able to effectively do? And which one do you enjoy more, maybe?
I think that's new for this app offense than in past offenses, especially last year because I was playing. But we can go, like you said, at different speeds. Tempo, and we can also slow it down, control the ball, run the ball, and making good decisions goes along with that, and converting. That helps with your progression of maintaining possession / okay, we got a quick first down. Oh, let's go tempo right here and try to catch them off guard. It's fun. I don't care which one we do, to be honest with you. I like going fast because it takes away a lot of the thinking, but I also like, hey, let's all be on the same page here. Let's huddle up. Let's get this play right. Let's execute. And I think we do a really good job in these first two games balancing that. Who knows? I mean, we might have a third type of speed going into this week. You never know.
Okay.